All right, y'all. I got another one for y'all today. Let's get into it.
All right, there's a Russian novel. It's about this guy, Onegin, who's an aristocrat in Russia. He meets a young peasant girl named Tatiana. She loves him. She writes love letters to him. He dismisses her. Several years later, Oregon goes to a party, and he sees this absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous woman across the room. He goes up to her, and he's just about to talk to her when he realizes that's the peasant girl, Tatiana. Whoa. He tries to woo her to himself. She says, "I'm sorry, I'm married, and I'm not interested." And he realizes the door is shut. She communicated her love to me years ago, but I thought she was a low-life peasant. I'm an aristocrat. But now that I see how she's matured, wow. Sorry, Oregon, the door is shut. Jesus Christ loves every single one of us today. We have to choose how we're going to respond to his love. When we die, or when Christ returns a second time, the door will be slammed shut. There'll be no more opportunity to respond to his love. That is why we do something as stupid as stand out here and plead with people, think hard. Think hard about Jesus Christ. Read the Gospels and ask yourself, does the evidence of the way Jesus lived, taught, died, and rose from the dead point to him being the truth, or does it not? Because if Christ is the truth, your eternal destiny and my eternal destiny depend upon how we respond to him. He loves us. But that opportunity to respond to his love will close when either you die or Christ returns a second time. And that's why there's an urgency to faith in Christ that I hope we all are picking up on.
I think Cliff made three incredible points that I want to go over today in more detail. Point number one, the door closes for salvation at either our death or the second coming of Jesus. Right, so Hebrews 9:27 says right here, "And just as it is appointed for man to die once, and after that comes judgment." So not comes salvation, not comes a second chance, but comes judgment. So Christ, having been offered once to bear the sins of many, will appear a second time, not to deal with sin, but to save those who are eagerly waiting for him. So he gave us the opportunity to receive salvation during his first coming. So his second is about judgment and saving those who received salvation. And we see a real life example of that in Genesis 7. So Genesis 7 says, "They went into the ark with Noah, two and two of all flesh, in which there was the breath of life. And those that entered, male and female, of all flesh, went in as God had commanded him. And the Lord shut him in." So they had here an opportunity for salvation, but they didn't take it. So once Noah and his family were inside, that door closed, and they never got that opportunity again. Then came judgment. And here in Matthew 25, it says, "When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on his glorious throne. Before him will be gathered all the nations, and he will separate people one from another, as the shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will place the sheep on his right, but the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Then he will say to those on his left, Depart from me, you cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels.'" See, here again, they had the opportunity for salvation, but at Jesus' second coming, it is going to be that he separates, he picks and chooses those who are righteous and unrighteous, those who believed in him and didn't, those who are saved and not saved. And that is the first point. First point is the door will close to salvation at either our death or Jesus' second coming. Point number two, we tell others about Christ because we're instructed to do so, no matter how it makes us look. So it says right here in Mark 16:15, "And he said to them, Go into all the world and proclaim the gospel to the whole creation." Now, clearly here, he isn't talking directly to us, but the apostles. But the Bible is a prime example of how we should be living as Christians. These are examples, prime examples. So we should still be preaching the gospel. We should still be telling people who haven't heard the good news. It's for them, not us. If we've already received our salvation through belief in Christ Jesus of ourselves, and yeah, we could take our salvation and go, but how is that fair or Christ-like? It isn't. There are people struggling. There are people that are hurting and haven't heard the good news. It is our responsibility to spread it to them, right? We preach for you, and half the time we look silly and feel silly doing it. But it's important because we have to remember your eternity is on the line. And I want you, I want them, I want whomever to join with me in heaven. Right? And I understand there are people who have taken advantage of people in this situation. Yeah, there are some rotten apples in everything, every industry, but this is your eternity at risk. And you have to take it seriously. And that's point number 2. Point number 3 is urgency. Like, it's urgent that we come to know Christ, because we don't know when that door, that opportunity will close. Right? So we have to receive salvation now. Because at the end of the day, that door can close at any moment. We can die at any moment. Jesus could come back at any moment. And I feel bad for those who say, I'm living for the now, and I'll hold off God until another time, till after I get over with the evil that I'm doing now. I feel bad for those people, because at any moment their door could close. Hey, share this video with someone y'all think needs to hear it. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment below. I'm out. Peace.